how's it going? Alright, so as you can see behind me, today we're going to be doing a little bit of work on the Titan, specifically in the room behind me. So let me show you real quick what we're going to be dealing with. So what we have here underneath the Titan is the mechanicals room where the Keep Alive system runs. So I'm just going to peel back this little layer of iron blocks just so that way we can kind of see what we got going on in here. So I'm going to jump up to this and fail, and I'm going to jump up to this, and there we go. So you can see there's the killing chamber, and we've got the pipe that comes along here. We've got our item sorter that goes into the dispenser, and anyone who's watched Tango's tutorial, this all should look very, very familiar. And I can't get down there directly. I have to kind of go through this door. And right here, you can see the hopper timer clock. So let me show you something real quick. That's behind me, and you can see we've got Tango's setup. So real quick, let me pop on over here to our creative world, where I've gone through and I've already mocked up a copy of Tango's system that we're using. So what you can see here is all the dimensions are exactly the same. We've got the item sorter here, and we've got the overflow clock there. I've got a little infinite loop of hoppers going right now for the to represent the item flow from the killing chamber, and the etho hopper timer. So all of the mechanics are here. We don't have a lit. So I'm going to bounce between the two as I do this tutorial, so that way you guys can see what it is I'm trying to do without having a big nether portal there, because that's one of the requirements. We do not want to mess with the nether portal. So the very first order of business that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take and put a dispenser right there. What we want to do next is stick our face in them and fill his inventory up with stuff. Now I'm going to use poppies because I'm here in creative and I can get away with it. And what's going to happen is every time the etho hopper timer fires, it's going to toggle the standard output to this torch, which will energize this system, and it'll spit out an item out of this dispenser. But at the exact same time, it'll spit one out over here as well. So for a little while, about 7 hours worth of inventory, we're going to have 2 items being shot into the nether. So the Keep Alive system for 7 hours will be double fed, which is just fine. What we want to prevent is at any time, we do not want to exceed more than 1 minute where this is not getting something spit into it. And as you can see, every time that redstone pops, it shoots this guy off. Alright, let's go back to the real world. Alright, for those of you who are observant, a real quick little goof here. When I mocked this little frame up, yeah, I had 1 extra row in there. So for the rest of the build, we're going to have this, so that way it matches the one on the AMF collab server perfectly. Alright, so our next order of business, we got to get this little dispenser right in there. Now you can't place it through the nether portal membrane. Pain in the butt, so you got to kind of step in here. There's these 2 blocks right here that are covering up the hopper timers to keep items from dropping in, so we're going to use that as a stick point, and there we go. See? Step on out, he's facing the right direction, and now we're just going to have to fill his inventory up with stuff. Let me go see. I think right on the other side of this nether gate there should be a ton of stuff. Oh, looky at that. A full inventory's worth. Let's get in here. That's the nice thing about using an existing Titan and retrofitting it, is that you can just jump through and grab all the loot. Okay, so that's good. And how's this guy looking? This is all full, because we're about to swap him out. He's not going to be part of this system anymore. Okay, and the next order of business we're going to want to do is we're going to want to put in the backlog of items. So what we want to do is make sure that we are always have a couple of days worth of inventory, because what we're going to do is we're going to go off of this guy and we're going to send it over to the community center, which is about 800 by 800 blocks that way. So what we need to do next is get the items into there, and now we want to pop. Okay, so up to this point what we've got is this is its own independent system, and what I can do is I can, you know, chuck a whole bunch of items in there. By the way, I removed this wall so that way we can get in and out and access the machinery. I also, on the other side of the portal here, I grabbed up a bunch of poppies. We're going to need a lot of poppies in order to fill up the inventory, so that way we can pull a signal off of it and not send a message by accident over to the town center. So what I want to do is we're just going to make sure that this is flowing right. We're going to put these items in here. We're watching them trickle through that. They're starting to backfill up into this, which is pointing into that guy. So up until now, we really haven't changed any of the system, but now that's going to change. This is the moment where we're going to stop how it's been working, and we're actually going to make an alteration, and that's with this hopper right here. We're going to pop him, and we're going to redirect his input into here. Okay? So there we go. That's moving. Now, this guy is still firing. He's still got items in him. The overflow will no longer, the overflow will push him, even though the overflow is going into this chest, which goes down to this dispenser. But yes, the system is still running. We still got both hoppers, and this is where that 7-hour window comes in. So we've got 7 hours now to get the rest of the system put together, and for that to happen, we need to change this overflow protection. This is going to be the last stage in getting this thing set up. Okay, next order of business is we're going to need to change this overflow system, because what it's doing is it's picking up a signal off of this hopper, which we still want to do. If this entire inventory fills up and its hopper starts filling up, then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to send a signal, and that's what this clock does. It sends a signal into this dispenser to spit items out. Well, that dispenser is not going to be there for very much longer, so we have to alter this. And to do that, we're going to pop this block. We're going to take and put a block here, and wham. This dispenser is now no longer in the system. It's not even firing when the hopper timer toggles, see, because the signal bends right back into this comparator. But what we want to do now is we're going to bring this signal, now that, because we had 2 loops back. So now what we want to do is we want to bring it down, and we're going to put it here and here. By the way, this torch, no longer needed. We can kill it. But do not kill that block like I just did, because that block is needed for powering this little bit of redstone dust there. And the reason we're bringing this down here is this torch. We need to be very careful. So we're going to pop that block, and in non-creative he will fall into that inventory, so we're going to want to make sure that we take care of that. So what we're looking for is when this signal gets to this block, so it's a 3-length signal, 1, 2, 3, we'll also go 1, 2, 3 at the same time. So the second this block is powered, this is also powered. So in order to keep them balanced, we still got to put a repeater right there. And then now what we can do is we can take a bit of redstone dust here and here, and then take another comparator, another repeater, and put it right on that hopper. We can leave that block to keep in stuff from falling into him, but we have to have this now. And now just put a little block right there, and what you'll see is that signal will now come down and it'll power this block, which will power that dispenser, and the items will flow out. This is a little bit difficult, and this is where getting around in here starts to become problematic. And to test this, what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to fill this guy up. And as you can see, this replicates an overflowed condition. And it runs a clock that spits the items right out. And so this guy's running really fast. And as you can see, this dispenser no longer needed. So we can just go ahead and pop him right there. And we'll just take his extra inventory items and chuck them in here. By the way, I just discovered a potential weakness to this system. When this entire inventory fills up, when the etho hopper is toggled where the redstone block is under this guy, it will shut off the overflow. So even though the overflow clock is running right now and it's powering that block off and on, this dispenser is permanently powered on because the etho hopper timer underneath of it is got a redstone block locking him on. But that's okay, because as soon as it shoots over, it'll start spitting out items like crazy. So this thing would have to be, you'd have to have the 64 villager version of the Titan to even start worrying about that. Okay, so now to make this system permanently changed, we're going to break this block, which takes this dropper out of the mix. He is no longer functioning. He's no longer going to spit items into the nether. So we're actually going to be able to break him in just a second. We're going to want to put the block here. We can grab his inventory since he's no longer needed, and we can go ahead and put it into this chest right here, and the items will flow down. And oh, it's so tight working in here now. Alright, so now what we want to do is put a little piece of dust in, and now what you see is this clock is actually got 2 feet. So when the items, when it comes out, it's a 1, 2, 3, powers this repeater, and also powers this one. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to eventually drop this repeater down, but we are working in such tight space, we're actually going to have to back this thing out. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to pop this guy. Now his block is going to fall. Oh, it didn't. Wow. Let's see, did it fall into? Yeah, it fell into the etho hopper timer. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is, now I'm going to use iron for my alterations to the build. And we're going to put an iron block there because we're going to power that with a little repeater right here. Now we've got to be very careful because this little block right here, you don't want him to... Oh, that's a problem. Why isn't this the same on mine? Okay, we got to look at this. I just discovered that our filter system is not an impulse overflow protected item sorter. Let's see, let's get up here. Yeah, look at that. It's only 1-2 pieces of dust long. Well, that's no good. We can't have that. Not only is it putting the torch in a bad spot for me, but it's also not overflow protected. Absolutely can't have that. Okay, so we're going to fix this right now. We're going to pop this block, and this was just me doing a jump up. This wall is going to have to move. So we're going to be making a move on this wall anyway because my system comes out a little bit further. So this works out just fine. Let's go ahead and get the polished diorite in here, and that's 1 and that's 2. Let's get some dust, and we will put dust here and here. Let's go ahead and jump up. Let's see what we got. Okay, so that's that and that. So now what we need to do is we're going to take this little comparator, we're going to back him up. We're also going to snag this piece of torch and see, now that piece of dust isn't there. So this actually, since we're tearing this all up anyway, alright, I'm going to come back to that because I want to be able to do this all in one take. We need to move that there. And we're going to need to put this torch. Let's put this torch right here. Now chances are, while that torch was out, I just ruined my filter. Yep, look, filter's all ruined up. Now we're starting to feed items in there. I gotta go find that. It should be down in the inventory. All the filtered items. It's a good thing we have this inventory here, right? Okay, so let's see. We got netherrack, sorting blocks. So we got 4 sorting blocks. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so now we can put our sorter back together again. And we're going to want to put this guy here, and we're going to want to take our 4 sorting blocks and put them in there. And now, see how it's 50? It should be 42 items, and that will work just the second we put a repeater right there. Okay, and it's ticking down, and bingo, 41. Okay, so now we've got our 41 items that are flowing into this hopper. It goes down. It's good to know that this hopper chain worked, so that makes me feel better. Don't know why we have netherrack in this. Okay, so back to what we were working on. Okay, so here we are on the other side. So we put this block in, and then we put this redstone repeater in, and we got a little bit of dust, and it's no longer being toggled by this torch now that we pushed that back. And so what we can do is we can bring a piece of dust here. Oh, nope, that's not what we want to do. What we want to do is put and I need a block of iron. A little block of iron, and now we can put the repeater here. So as soon as this block gets powered, it'll be powering this repeater, and because this block is powered, it'll power this repeater, which will then snap on this piece of dust, and it'll go down there. And this is why we had to work our way backwards, because now I can't get down there anymore. So that's it. This dispenser is completely and 100% out of the system, and we are now fully converted over to a bulk inventory system. But we're not done yet. Now we need to pull a signal off of this guy and go ahead and run it into the messaging system. So let's go talk about the messaging system for a minute. Before we can start talking about putting messages out, we need to grab a signal off of this chest. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to find out when this chest right here is at 50%. I tried pulling it off of that top chest, but it interfered with the redstone on the filter. So rather than messing with that, we're just going to go ahead and pull it off of this guy. So if it gets down where this chest is 50% full, it means that this guy's been sick for a while, because we're going to assume that this has been running for a long time. And so to get this signal, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little piece of iron, we're going to smack it there, and then we're going to put we're going to want to put a comparator pulling the signal out of that block. Now, okay, I had to take a quick look at the picture and in the creative world, and there we go. This is what we're looking for. We're looking to pull a signal out of this, jam it into the side of this guy, and cut his signal in half. In other words, we don't want to know an output signal from this guy. Pop. And so what we're going to do, I need a redstone torch. Okay, and put a redstone torch right there. So you see how this inventory, yeah, it's half full. So yeah, we've got this inventory, it's half full. And so now it's putting a signal out, but as soon as this inventory had anything in it, it would put a signal out. Well, in order to tell it not to, we have to load this furnace with items that it normally wouldn't smelt. Let's see, this has got a very strong signal. Now, see, it just shut this torch off, or this torch is on, because now this needs more inventory items before it'll override this signal jamming into the side of this comparator, and all we need is just 1 tick strength of power to power this block to turn that torch off. When this torch is on, it means sadness has happened and somebody needs to come take a look at the Titan. So that's what we're looking to pull off. And to demonstrate what it looks like, let's go ahead and load this guy up with a bunch more. And now we will take a look, and yep, see, torch is off. Or this is the status of the torch that we want to keep. And as I said, I'm going to have to move this wall out a little bit in order to get this doing what we want it to do. Now, the other thing that I can do is, this is how I have it modeled in my creative world. But I'm going to make a slight alteration to this. Alright, so after careful consideration, I think the variant that we're going to go for is not the torch method, but we're actually going to want to do the sticky piston and block of redstone method. So you can see now this is activated. And now all we got to do is stick a little block of redstone on them and put a little signal here. A little bit of dust. And there you go. So that means that when that piston is extended, the world is happy. When that piston is retracted, the world is sad. Okay, before we get started on working underneath of the building, we're just going to go ahead and close this back up. I've seen some items just sitting here loitering, so I want to make sure they got something to hit and make sure they go into the nether. We absolutely, positively do not want to nerf the existing Titan, and, you know, this guy here goes bad. We would all be very, very sad. And we're going to have to move this wall out, and I'm going to do the prettying up of this just as soon as I'm done working underneath. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're actually not going to use this setup. I'm going to put that little bit of dust right next to it, because what I want to do is bring this guy underneath. So we need a little bit of, oh, they're already in my hotbar. Okay, so that torch right there, and then what we're going to do is we're going to set up a little delay timer here. So what we're going to do is we're going to be counting on these 2 hoppers flowing items into each other. Now, I happen to like about 8 items, so I'll just tick off 8 items of something that I've got, and it takes a little bit of time for it to translate through. So I'm going to use also iron as my redstone block. You know, indicating that, hey, don't break this if you're standing underneath of it, because sadness will happen. Okay, so now we've got that guy pushing into a block. We're going to want to make a little bit of, again, a little redstone bit of dust here. Now, I got to clear out some space underneath of this. So basically what we've got, and what I can do is I can simulate this retracting without actually having retract it. By breaking this block. So what we're going to want to do is, okay, so you can see this torch is out, as is this torch, and what I want to do, the reason for this little delay timer here is I'm worried about that chest up top fluttering. So items flow in, flow out, flow in, flow out, and if that's the case, then this is to give a little bit of hysteresis, and we're going to want to do a little bit of hysteresis well. So we're going to put, oops, let's get a base here for redstone block, which we're, like I said, we're using iron. So let me get some iron in here real quick, and an iron block is going to go here. We're going to want to put dust here and here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have a little bit of a comparator delay timer. We're going to have it go this way, and we want to push the signal into that block, and 2 bits of redstone there. This is a decay circuit right here. So we've got if you look, I broke it. It's going to take a second or two for this torch to turn on. When this torch turns on, whammo bammo, we're going to spit a item into an item stream that says, "Ooh, I'm sick, come fix me." Presumably later on, we're going to want to send a second message that says, "Oh, I'm okay." So boom, this guy gets extended again. Well, that torch went out immediately, but we're counting on this decay circuit here that to keep that redstone alive for a little bit, so that way if this piston were to go up and down, up and down, up and down, because of the item up top, the chest up top, it's not going to spit a whole bunch of messages in there. And so what we're looking at is we're looking at about a 10-second delay between messages. So okay, so now for the rest of the circuit. Okay, next order of business. We're going to need to clear a little bit of space out here. That actually does not need to have a redstone on it, but we'll make it that way anyway. Pop, pop. Come on. Pop. There we go. Okay, so we're going to want to put a little bit of redstone dust. We don't need any more blocks right now, just the dust. And we're going to want a torch right here, and this... Oops. Shouldn't have broken that. Okay, this is going to be one of our sticky pistons. We're going to want a sticky piston there. And we're going to want a nice big iron block on that. Oh, nope, I went too deep. Okay, so let's get this stone back in the hole and sticky. So what we're going to want is we're going to want a sticky piston right there. And we're going to want to put a block of iron on top. This is going to be a redstone block, so this has got some circuitry in it. We need a repeater. Where's my repeaters at? Here's my repeater. Let's bring this guy over here. So we're going to want to take a repeater, put it here, and then this guy is going to be a dispenser or dropper. It actually doesn't matter which, dispenser or dropper is fine. And we're also going to need another dropper right here, because what we're going to do is we're going to bring this signal. I put him too close. Right there. And so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to punch down 2 blocks. We're going to want to put a piston, yet another sticky piston, right there. See how that guy's popped up? Okay, that's good. We actually kind of want that. So we're going to put that there. And we need to put 2 bits. Okay, so this is a redstone. We need a repeater. And we're going to put another block right here with a little tiny spot of dust. Okay, so now that should be the circuit complete. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, I'm going to put 2 items here. I'm going to put 1 rose in this guy, and let's find something else that we got a lot of. We're going to put a little bit of coarse dirt here. Okay, so oops, coarse dirt in the wrong one. So let's put a bunch of roses in this guy, and in this guy we're going to put a bunch of coarse dirt. Okay, so this dispenser sends the I am sick message, and this dispenser sends the I am okay message. So let's do a quick little test. Let's see if this thing is going to work for us. Okay, so right here we should be able to see both of them. Let me get the redstone lined up here so I can put it back on. Okay, so now it's saying I'm sick. Oh, it's shot out a rose, which is the I am sick message. Okay, and now later on, it's going to extend again, and we're waiting for the items to flow. There we go, and it shot out an I'm okay message. Okay, so that's how this entire system works. Now, what we need to do is put in a water stream that's going to carry these over here. I mean, you can see we've got this guy is spitting all kinds of stuff out. So let's get the water stream in and we'll take it from there. Okay, so now for the item stream. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make the items flow from these 2 hoppers over here. Now I'm choosing what may seem like a less direct path because it's going to make the water sources work out a little bit better for us. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to build packed ice. I hope that's, yeah, that's my silk touch, good. Packed ice all along here, okay, and we're going to bring it right on over here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some glass and we're going to just wrap this guy in some glass, make this nice and tight, because we're going to want to watch these items flow in. We're going to put a piece of glass here. Don't really need glass on top, except over here to catch them when they get shot. So real nice and simple, and we're going to put a little half slab here, and if I did my counts right, this should just stop right at the edge, and we don't need a sign. Hey, look at that. It's almost like I knew what I was doing. By the way, this dispenser is taking items from either blocks, ingots, or pearls and spitting them down into this water stream, and all the way down at the end of that chute is the beginning of a hopper chain that runs under the ground 800 by 800 blocks out to the community center. So that's what we're spitting our messages into. So now I can just put another block here and he'll flow down, and whammo bammo. So both of these two will spit their messages into this water stream when this guy toggles. And now we just got to put the messages in. Okay, so in order to get those guys filled up, I went ahead and I preloaded up some stuff. So we got some messages here. So the Titan is sick. I went and made 10 stacks of them. Now, here's the only caveat you gotta pay attention to. These guys got to be named exactly the same. So I made 10 stacks of them because, well, we're going to need one stack for the item sorter part that's down at the other end. Now see how this is a poppy? See, if I go and double click, it'll only move that which has the exact same name. So when you're checking these things, so see Titan is sick, and here's the poppy. When you're checking these, if you want to make sure that all of them have the exact same name, what you do is you double click and make sure they move. So ooh, all these moved. So these are all named Titan is okay. This one's named Paper. I just grabbed that for demonstration purposes. I didn't realize that I had these poppies kicking around. And yeah, so that's how that gets done. And let's go ahead and stick this in here. And I need that out, and let's put these in. And pretty much that's going to be it. Alright guys, so okay, we've got the message that we've put in the bottle. Now we've got to pick it up, and this is where I've decided we're gonna go. Right down here where we used to have our old horses. This is the old horse stall, and it's right next to Cocky's Beacon Shop, so I figured, yeah, right down here, we happened to pick up the line, and I went ahead and I dug some stuff out, so that way we didn't have to spend a lot of time doing that. But yeah, this is the hopper chain that comes all the way from the spawn chunks, and it just zips all the way out here. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna set this guy up right in this space, and we're gonna have a blinking beacon. Boy, that's a tongue twister. We're gonna have a blinking beacon before the end of the night. Okay, so I just had a little bit of a hard disk crash. That stinks, so I have to redo a little bit of stuff that I had already recorded, but that's alright. We didn't get too far before I BSOD'd, so we're good. Alright, so what we're doing right here is we're going to build the little sorter right into this space right here. Now this is going to be the impulse overflow protected sorter, and once we're done, oops, I need a little bit of a block right here, just so that way we've got something that we can shove the hoppers into, get them pointing in a safe direction. Okay, so oops, and I'm putting these blocks here, and simply put, they don't need to be there. I do, however, need a block underneath of these guys. Is that right? It's gonna be a block out. I keep I just got done looking at this. Okay, so that goes there, this goes here, and we need to put a block here and a torch in front of it. Okay, I got it now. Goodness me. I don't speak much English apparently. Alrighty, so that there. And yeah, so now we're going to have hoppers facing out. So we can't put these items into these filters Well, that's not true. We can. We absolutely can. Okay, so what we're going to do is... Oh, look, it's already snagged a little bit of iron. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this filter stone. I use flint as my filter stone. And we're going to catch the two messages that we're interested in. So that's sick. And then this is the Titan is okay. Alright, and by the way, we're just going to take these and put this here and let them flow along. And see? Nothing into that. Nothing going in there. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is, okay, so these are going to be, you know, just to make sure that if somebody's come along, digging and mining, we're going to put iron blocks here as our redstone foundation block. And let's put these guys here. Bang, bang, and now we got to go 1, 2, and 1, 2. And there we go. This is the filter. Soup to nuts. It's really easy. Impulse is right. Ugh, some serious lag. Impulse is right. I agree with him that this is the quintessential filter. Of course, you know, I can't stand in the right spot to put it, so that was absolutely useless. So what we need to do is put a temporary block to stand on. Oh my goodness, the lag is killing me here. Frame rates are tanking 25. Okay, and put a comparator there and a comparator there. Now, give me just a second. Okay, so we need that little bit of redstone dust to go there, there, and there. Okay, so that's the filter part of this. Now what we're going to need to do is, yeah, I got to bring these guys, bang, 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 pop, pop, and this is just to get the filters, these guys coming out. They're locked. Now, ooh, you know what? They're going to have all the items in them. I goofed. Alright, what we got to do is there's a torch that goes here, and a torch that goes there, and that is what locks everything. So let's grab these guys again. Got to set up the filter again. So here's the Titan is okay, and wow, look at how fast that iron's flowing in. And here's the Titan is sick. Okay, and like before, we're just going to take that iron and jam it in there. Okay, so now we got these guys coming out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take both of these guys, and they're going to flow out, and they're going to drop right into a dispenser. Oops, that's not where I want that, or not a dispenser, but we're going to put them into a dropper. And sorry guy, I need that space, so we're going to put it here. Give me that back, and we're going to put it right here. Both of these are going to face right into each other. Let's see, can I get a piece of glass in here? I think I got some white glass. That's a sea lantern. Let's see, I think I got some kicking around here. We go, white stained glass. So what we're going to do is we're going to put little pieces of glass here just to keep these guys from, you know, making a mess. Little piece of glass there, bust that temporary block. Okay, so now, and the last thing I'm going to, oh, I shouldn't have broken that. Put this right there. Okay, so this is going to scoop up everything that these two guys spit out. Okay, and it looks like I'm going to have to move that wall maybe. Alright, so let's see what we've got here, and a piece of glass there, and there we go. Now, so that's a nice tight box. So this will catch the messages, but really, this is just a garbage bin. That's not where we're storing them. So what we need to do is we need to bring out, and we're going to use the system that Rick taught me, and that's going to come out here like this. And okay, so I need just a little jumpy jump here, and okay, so we need that comparator back. So comparator comes out, block. Now we need a piece of dust, and I need a piece of dust, and yeah, let me put the dust here and the repeater here. So we need dust, dust. We need a block to pinch that, and we're going to want to put a block there to catch a signal into this repeater, and this guy will go here, and on top of this will go another block, and that will make this piston, every time you stick something into it, let's go ahead and stick something into it. Let's just boom, 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 boom. And that clock, it ticks. It does its thing. Okay, and so now what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to repeat this on the same side. So it's 3 blocks. So it's, and I'm going to need some more iron. I'm going to keep it 1, 2, 3. Of course. So yeah, I didn't cut this. I cut it, and I made a mistake and didn't cut it to the right dimensions. So my bad. You get to watch me dig a little bit. Sorry. I know this is terribly exciting. Let's see. Torch, and put it a little light in that hole, and let's get. No. Here we go. And there. And that's Cole saying goodnight. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and a little block here so that way I can jump up. And redstone comparator, and we're going to need a block and a bit of dust. A block to pinch, a block to toggle, a block for that guy, and a little bit of dust right there. Okay, so now let's just test this clock, make sure he's working too, and let's go ahead and put that in there, and bing, 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 bing. Okay, so life is good. These guys are spitting out and doing exactly what they're supposed to do. So now what we need to do is we're going to grab off of this guy and we're going to pump it into a T flip-flop. Excuse me, not a T flip-flop, an RS Snorlatch. So we need to put that coming out there, that coming out there, and this wall may have to move. I don't think it should. I think I counted that right. Okay, so let me just do a quick double check and I'll be right back. Alright, so the RS Snorlatch kind of goes like this. Pop, 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 bang. This block here doesn't need to be there, but I do need it for doing this part. This guy comes up, he comes over 1, and now I'm going to bring a redstone bit of dust across. Now this is the this little shape right here is the RS Snorlatch, and put a guy here, and I need that there and a touch of dust right there. Okay, and that's the output signal, by the way. And let's see, so this guy is, so this is presently in the off position, and if this clock fires, it'll power this, and this guy, you'll see it'll be powered in this current position. If this clock were to fire, and I'll just fire it once with just a little bit of an item, and now that energized, toggling this, and yep, as you can see, it toggled the Snorlatch, and so now this guy's powered. Again, if he's sick, oops, and I'll put one into the sick bin, fires, and I gotta get a little jump block out of here, and it's off. So as long as that's hot, we're good. And right now it's in the bad position, so let's go ahead and put it into the good position. One little shot. See? That fired, that toggled, it's hot. And so now what we can do is we're going to have that guy here, and we're going to have a little bit of a torch tower going up. Ugh. Got to parkour through this redstone. Okay, so what I can do is, oop, not that. Definitely don't want that. Need the redstone torches. Redstone torch. Not there. there? Oh, you need to be on. Oh, looks like the NOR latch flip-flopped. So, let's see. Okay, so I want this in the on state. Okay. Alright. Ugh. Alright, so here we go. So now you can see this torch is out. Now, the question that I've got is, will this guy give us any power? I don't think so. I think we got an air block there, so I think we should be good. Let's go ahead and torch here. Okay, so if that's on, this is on. And that torch is off. So now all we got to do is get the toggling thing going. Ooh, let's go grab that. And let's see. And grab some of our junk out of here. Toggling this thing back and forth. Okay, let's see if... Okay, that torch is out when this is out. And let's see if that torch is on when this is on. And torch is off when this guy's off. Okay, so that's our signal right there. Now what we're going to do is in this space right here, we're going to build our toggle for the beacon. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and cleared out a little bit of space in preparation for the next part of the build, which is the beacon blinker. I also went up top side and figured out where I wanted the shaft to come down for this guy. And so what we're going to do is we're going to wind up putting him right here, and we're going to go ahead and set up a beacon right in the middle of this guy. But we're going to do some tricky stuff. So first off, we're going to need this block, but not for what we thought. It's not that we're going to be pulling a signal off of that to drive the etho hopper timer. We're going to be using that signal to actually drive the blinker, one of the two blinkers. So we needed a torch input, and so we've got it. So when the system goes off, this torch will go cold. This block will no longer be powered because this torch powers this block, which powers this redstone. Now this redstone is the little touch of redstone needed for an etho hopper timer. And as soon as that gets powered up permanently, the etho hopper timer shuts down. So we've got all of that ready to go. So hey, why not just use it? And it turns out it's going to work out really, really well for us. So the amount of items is actually quite small. We only need 3 items in this guy. So 4. We got some zombie flesh that came from a guy that came in. By the way, in the middle of this I had a creeper attack, so I blew up half the stuff as I was mocking it up. I was so sad. Alright, so that goes there, and now we need just another one of... Nah, not that. Comparator, there we go. We need a comparator. Not there, right there. And going into a block with a little bit of dust on it. Bang, and we're going to want to put a block here just because it's going to extend our signal out. You know, it makes things line up later on a lot better. For those that are hearing me click stuff, it's the I have a joystick that I used to fly my flight simulator on, and I've co-opted it for Minecraft. Okay, so there's all of that. Both of those guys are good. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to just chuck a piece of redstone here, just so that way, okay, that's where our beacon's going to go. Okay, so it's right underneath that. And alright, so let's go ahead and we're going to need to put a block here because we're going to want to put a regular piston. Now these, for ping-ponging the lights over this guy, we need just a regular piston. And let's go ahead and put a block, and we're going to just get a piece of dust. Okay, now the reason that I do it with the inverted torch signals because this is just a momentary pulse that'll come into these guys. And this one, ironically, is pretty much, it's already ready to go. We just need to put, let's see, we're going to put a block here with a touch of dust, and that means that we're also going to need to put a block into this, not there, right there, and a piston into that. Okay, so now you see we've got two pistons here. Now, I don't have two different colored pieces of glass, and that's what I need. I need to go get some glass. Hold on just a second. Okay, and I'm back. So I got a piece of white and a piece of red. And so now, if I were to stick something into this I'm feeling sick piston, so it's going to kick off, and bingo, these guys start ping-ponging back and forth. Okay, now, one of the things that we want to do is, if you look, see how this line is powered? What I'm going to want to do is not fall down. I'm going to want to take and pull a block out of this when this line goes cold. So you saw me put it in, so we're going to need to make a little bit of an alteration here. By the way, this is the RS snore latch, so that's why it's staying hot. Even though this guy is cold, the signal here still stays hot. So let's see, we can do this, we can grab that, and okay, so now this block is powered, and what I can do is I can stick a piston facing up. Now when this block is hot, it'll push this little bit of iron right into place. Ugh. Let's try. Ugh. Oh God. How many times can I epically fail? Don't ask that question. Probably find out. It's a lot. Okay, so here we are. We're right on top. Now you know, I was holding shift. Really, I was. Alright. Back up again. You know you got good tight redstone when you have to par around it. Okay, so here we are. So now, there's that block that we had just placed. I'm going to go ahead and stick a piston against that and put that there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take this block of redstone out just for now. And, alright, let me through. Okay, so now, if the I'm OK signal comes in, it should toggle this RS snore latch, and all of this should shut down, and we'll see that block right there. That block will go away. And boom. Now, because this little, 3x3 goes away, the beacon will shut off. Okay? And that also means that the second that the beacon gets enabled, it's going to have a red light. Alright, so let's go down and down. Let's go up and get a beacon. So it just happens that we have a bustling, thriving economy on our server. Right over here, right next to the holes where I'm going to be putting the beacon alarm system, we happen to have a beacon shop. This is run by Cocky. He went and created a Wither Skelly farm, and yeah, he spent a lot of time AFKing down there, and as you can see, he's got 3 diamonds for another star. And although it says here beacons in stock when light is on, so let's see, are we going to get another star, or are we going to get a beacon? So I happen to have a couple of diamonds here. 1, 2, 3, and we will stick them up there, and let's see. Oh, I hear some pistons firing down below. We should get something in a minute. Believe it comes right up here onto this little patch. Oh, okay, so it looks like he's giving out nether stars. So we don't have to go slaughtering a wither. He's already done that for us. But yeah, apparently we got to get nether stars. Now, it just so happens that he says, you can pay what you want, you think is fair. Obviously, he's doing a big build with diorite, and it so happens that in this chest, he's got some beacons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this nether star and I'm going to put it in place of that beacon, just because, I don't want to go crafting it right now. I don't have time to go get the obsidian. And let's get back down the hole and get this in place. Alright, so here we are down at the bottom again, and let's see if I can get over there. Oh, and I made it. And plop. Okay, so we got that all lit up, and now the question is, if we stick an I'm sick in here, we're just going to toggle this guy, and we should get some blinking. Nice. A little bit of server lag, so the items aren't toggling as quick as I would like. But yeah, alright, let's go take a look and see what it looks like up the top side. Okay, and here we are. You can see the sky is flashing white and red, white and red. It is literally screaming, "Come take a look at me." So what I'm going to do is, and Dee and I have talked about this, we got to come up with some kind of building to put here. We're looking at designs for like some kind of control panel or something like that for a like a power substation or something. I don't know. Still trying to come up with an idea that we can have that'll put a nice wrapper on this little bit. But for now, so that way people don't fall down that hole to their death, we've got a little tiny thing here. It's a little wishing well, and it says, yeah, definitely come take a look at me. So, alright, let's go downstairs and shut it off. Okay, so here we are back down at the bottom again, and we're going to put the I'm okay message in, and we're just going to plop, and she fires off, and yeah, the blinker stops, and it retracts that little piston over there, and there you go. So this little chunk of redstone is done. All we got left to do is just clean up at spawn. And yeah, Dee, like I said, Dee has some ideas. We're thinking that we've got other items that come down this pipeline. So right now, this one's the pearls, and this is pearls and iron ingots. And the line right next door to it, I don't even know if I can get into. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, let's see, pop that, and yep. Okay, so you can see this line right here is the pearls and the ingots, and this line right here is produce. We've got potatoes, carrots, watermelon, and pumpkins that are flowing down here. Thought is, we could, if any of those systems are having problems, we can use the exact same type of messaging. Just set up different beacons, and it'll turn on and turn off different beacons. We also have the melon and iron autocrafters. We can pump their signals right over into the same area. So, it's an idea that he had, and we're still trying to develop it. Alright, back to the spawn chunks. Okay, one last quick little finishing touch. This is a temporary little bit, but yeah, what we're going to do is we're just going to say here that this is the Titan status indicator. Off equals good. Blinking equals bad. There we go. Okay, and the very last thing we've got to do to clean this entire thing up is we've got to fix this wall. So I thought about it, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to make this the setup where we're just going to bump the wall out, and it's not going to have any kind of gap in it at all. So that's what we're going to do. So these pieces right here and all this can all go, because this is all going to be part of the wall, and we're going to have to get this diorite here. We've got some polished diorite here. Whoopsie, I fell down. Oh, no, hold on. I bet you that went right in. Yeah, check that out. Just got sucked right up. Alright, so yeah, you can see I just fell right down. Let's go ahead and move these elements around as well. And we're going to have to get some dirt or something to polish them back up. So let's go ahead and let's see. So We want our ground look. Actually, we want that to be there. So let's go ahead. Tools would be good. Let's go ahead and move you out. No, here, there. Sorry, I got hotkeys for this kind of stuff. That's actually going to be part of the wall, and we need to. Okay. Ooh, cool. The diorite worked, and what do we got? Oh, we got diorite for the frame. We've got to put in. So this is going to be, and this is why I went with this. Okay. That was intense. Let's go take a nap. Okay, so that was a little bit of a surprise, and Double D came along to join me for cleaning up the tail end part of this. We're just falling down into the hole. We had to scavenge some materials to patch this little thing up. So let's go ahead and just run some more clay and stuff. I got a little bit of here's some yellow, just to seal this guy in. There we go. All right. Oh, and okay, you got that. And I got some diorite that we can stick up on top. I believe we need a diorite corner. How much more diorite you got?
No.
Yeah, that was my last piece right there. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of diorite. 4 pieces of diorite. You're right. There's supposed to be a glowy stony right there. So, and we can still get in here. If you can walk through the door, you can still get in here and can move around the machinery. So yeah, okay, good. So that'll work as a maintenance hatch. And oh shoot, D, could I beg you to hit the button? Oh wait, never mind. Check that. I got the button right here. Oh, I wonder, can I put a power up the? Can actually power up the portal. So all right. So we just need to wait for D to come back, and oh, here he is. Look at that, right on time. So yeah, we just need to slap them in. And there you go. This build is done. Okay, guys. Yeah, so it looks like it's a wrap, but I have a little bit of a confession to make. I broke the Titan. Yeah. Okay, so let me show you what I did. Oh, I am so ashamed at this. Those that were paying attention to my tutorial will know that I said, break this torch. Well, I kind of didn't. And it sat there, and that torch kind of locked things up a little bit, and yeah, the villages collapsed. Fortunately, we have a backup copy of our villagers.dat file, and yeah, TitanSOS, our admin, he got in and he replaced the file, and the villages came back, and the Titan spawned back into creation again. So there you go. It's good. It's back. It's healthy again. And, you know, unfortunately, the way it broke, yep, nope, the message in the bottle did not happen, because it locked up the hopper and spit nothing out, and so because nothing got spit out, it didn't go. So, yeah, whoopsie, don't make that mistake, guys, you will be sad. So, yeah, I know this episode ran long, and I'm really sorry about that. I sat on it for about 2 weeks. We were trying to polish what was going on with that, and I never did get a good build going for what the other side looks like. We'll have to make that another video. So yeah, so I hope you enjoy this tutorial / episode. I know it's a long one. I'll try to keep them to 30 minutes, and I will do that going forward. You all have a good one, and I will catch you later. Encrypt out. Okay, so here we are down at the bottom again, and let's see, can I make it? God.